All right, look, Project Veritas is about to go drop some stuff in 5 minutes. All right, they said that they were going to drop some stuff. Let's get into this. I have this is James O'Keefe's Twitter. All right, he said he actually live streamed this, calling Jeff Zucker. Okay, he's the president of CNN. And he's just look, he's got 2.3 million views on this thing. So it was at 9 a.m. this morning. He live streams this, and he calls him. You know what? Let me. Hopefully, it's not too loud. Bear with me.
You're unmuted.
Hey, Jeff Zucker, you there? Hey,
yes.
This is James O'Keefe. We've been listening to your CNN calls for basically 2 months, recording everything. Just wanted to ask you some questions if you have a minute. Do you still feel you're the most trusted name in news? Because I have to say, from what I've been hearing on these phone calls, I don't know about that. I mean, we got a lot of recordings that indicate you're not really that independent of a journalist.
Slay him.
Okay. Thank you for
cut the feed.
Your comments.
Cut the feed.
So everybody, in light of that, I think what we'll do is we'll set up a new system, and we'll be back with you. We'll do the rest of the call a little bit later.
We're going to release those recordings today.
So he's like, we're gonna switch. We're gonna change to a different something. We'll talk to you in a little bit. It's just like, oh man, that dude had sweat beaming down his face. You know it. Like, oh, what this? Was it live? I don't know if now I know James O'Keefe was live. But he said he was doing it during a CNN live call or something. I don't know if it was live on CNN's side. Wow, my goodness, so that's nuts. All right, so he said that he's gonna, by the end of this, they kind of talk, but he was like, look, I'm releasing these conversations that you had with your leadership in CNN, talking about their bias, what they want to tell the public, what they don't want to tell the public, their political views. So there's all sorts of spicy stuff that is about to drop. I am so excited. All right, so I'm on Project Veritas. I'm waiting for them. This is an update from James O'Keefe. He just says, legal experts say this may be a felony. We've referred it to law enforcement. So CNN has called the police, saying that Project Veritas might have committed a felony doing that. And then James O'Keefe posted here, he says, our legal expert is just mad and embarrassed. Stay tuned. Ooh, they called the police. That is spicy. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna find out soon whether or not I mean what happens, because that was 30 minutes ago that James just posted that. Oh man. So I am super excited. I'm basically just waiting. I'm gonna go to Project Veritas right now, and we're going to one tweet in the last half hour. That was probably here it is. They just said, we are so close. Can we hit 800,000 followers in the next 25 minutes before the CNN tapes start dropping? Wow, they are close. Only 400, just under 400 people. I'm going to go ahead and retweet this right now. And I'm just going to do just a classic retweet and see if I can help kick those up to 800,000. That'd be dope. But man, this is exciting. All this stuff. Look, this is seriously the craziest news month, year of my life, of your lives, of everybody's lives. And is it because of the internet that we're all connected so we actually know what's going on? Or is it truly the craziest year of everybody's life? 2020, all right? What are people going to remember in 20 years, 30, 40 years about 2020? Is it going to be the pandemic? Or is it going to be the year that Elon Musk, got reusable rockets and started sending humans back into space from American soil for cheap? I mean, there's certain things that are pretty huge, but oh my goodness. Project Veritas, all these different people are slamming the news. All right, excuse me. the news. And for those listening, I'm doing air quotes when I say the news, because what is the news? You know what I mean? What is the news? I feel like I'm more the news than CNN. That's a narrative, okay? Yeah, sure, I'm biased, but I'm giving you honest stuff. I'm giving you what I'm finding. I'm saying here, this is what I've found. I tell you that. If I am biased, I'm telling you that I'm biased on something, but I'm not lying. That's not in my character, you know? I want to give you the truth. And of course, Project Veritas, Veritas meaning truth, is Project Truth. These guys have blown the whistle on Facebook, right? Because Facebook employees are super biased against Trump supporters. They have TDS to the max, okay? And they have their wall of shame from all these people saying, like, we're gonna come down on you and do all these things. Oh, okay. So they finally dropped it. I'm on James O'Keefe's his Twitter feed. Seems like he just released something. We're gonna watch it together. Breaking special correspondent Jamie Gangle details how CNN should cover up Trump's contested election claims on a 9 a.m. call. News organizations have to be very careful and very responsible about not giving Donald Trump too much of a platform on his not conceding. All right, so I'm going to full screen this. I have not seen this yet. Let's watch this.
CNN says on Jeff Zucker's 9 a.m. editorial conference call how they, the Democratic Party, powerful interest groups, may determine how CNN will cover Trump not conceding the presidential election.
I just want to underscore something that Michael said earlier about the transition and Trump, because I've been talking to a lot of people this morning on both sides.
Gosh.
And I just keep hearing the same thing, both from Republicans who have not come out to congratulate Biden.
Because he's not the president-elect.
But also to those who have in the Democrats. And that is that we have to be, news organizations have to be very careful and very responsible about not giving Trump too much of a platform on his not conceding, because they feel the transition can go forward. And, other than the national security briefings, which are critical to start now,
he's not the president-elect, though.
They just don't want us to exaggerate that Trump isn't leaving office. And I'm going to have a lot of specific reporting on that later today. But just big picture, wanted to underscore what Michael had said.
Yeah, because they don't want people talking about any... They want to sweep all of this fraud under the carpet and have everyone shut up and not deal with it. They don't want to deal with it. When we've got affidavits out there, there's enough red flags for most people to want some sort of audit, an actual audit. Who doesn't want to make sure our elections are not messed with? Okay, we're finding out things. I just read an article. Now, it's unfounded. All right, and let me just add this again. I have not looked too deeply into it, but what I've seen is very, very frightening. And if it's true, Trump's executive order in 2018 is going to slam the hammer down on these people. There is some people talking and some paperwork that I've seen about Dominion being sold recently and $400 million being spent by a certain country on the other side of the world that has purchased it, meaning they have a stake and control in Dominion software. Okay, I'm not gonna exactly say it. All right, but all right, let's continue watching this.
Yep, agreed.
On the issue of why it's important to get the transition going right, the 9/11 report talks about one of the problems was that the trouble that was brewing got lost during the transition. So if you want a good concrete example of what happens when you don't have a good transition, go look at the Twin Towers.
What? She's comparing this election fraud to 9/11 right now? COVID-19? Which, I don't know if you were paying attention to my show the whole time, but if you're just joining us, I just talked about the numbers, okay? The numbers of COVID-19 deaths aren't unusual. Okay, it's the normal deaths per year. There's no spike. Okay, they just took the numbers from other deaths. All right, so this crazy spike of COVID deaths doesn't exist. It's normal deaths that people got COVID. It's like a serious flu where everyone got the flu, but then people who already had heart disease that were dying anyway got this flu, and they happened to die because they had crazy, heart disease. Anyway, I wanna just keep it moving.
Yeah. So I think that's an important point. I think it was discussed a little bit yesterday in terms of national security. I think it's really important to raise again. I would encourage folks to think about, that 9/11 Commission report and the lack of transition.
Wow. What do you guys think of that? That is, my goodness. Yep, they're the news that they claim to be. Man, I can't stand it. People are saying, "Oh, sorry if the sound is not okay." Luckily, if you're looking at the screen, all of the words were on the screen, so you can read the words. Unfortunately, if you are just listening out there on any of the podcasts that I have out there, sorry that, but you can check it out on James OKeefe. It's James OKeefe, or James OKeefe the third, which is I guess III. On Twitter, and he just posted this, and I'm sure it's on Project Veritas' website as well. It's hashtag CNN tapes, so you can find out. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more. My goodness, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I have a feeling the news is coming to an abrupt end, okay? Trump has been very adamant about, he wants to get rid of 230, Section 230, but I think it needs to be reformed. It needs to protect free speech online. Honestly, the whole internet needs to be looked at differently because it is the new meeting place. The weird part is that the cross between borders is gone on the internet. Someone in Europe and I can have a conversation, and rules there might be different from rules here, so that free speech, I could say something that might be illegal there. That's why you see Twitter, people are like, oh, in German law, this was, reported, but it's not, whatever, different people, I see that floating around every so often. But, we don't know, like our Constitution, it's for Americans here in America. When Americans travel abroad, sometimes they get in trouble and they're like, why am I getting in trouble? Why is this illegal? It's legal where I'm at, and therefore it's fine for me to do this. And it's like, well, no, you're in a different country and laws are different there. Where here, we've got freedom of speech. The First Amendment, it's amazing. Second Amendment, we can go get guns if we want. We're Americans. We're allowed that, right? And the countless other laws that give us freedoms as American citizens. So we have to somehow figure out how to make it so we have freedom of speech online and we're protected in some sense. Twitter has been censoring many people. They've been banning many people for speak that they don't like to see. They've been fact-checking the president of the United States countless times, over and over and over, since the election day. I don't know if it was before they started. I don't know exactly when they started fact-checking everything. But even Candace Owens, yesterday I talked about this. She was fact-checked, and she was getting, lawyers involved. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring some lawyers in and sue you, PolitiFact." They were like, "Actually, she was correct. We're gonna retract that. Sorry." It's like, yeah, right. All right. So this whole thing, Philip Anderson, for example, he's suing big tech. All right. He's been going after him because they cut him off for simply using his American rights to stand up for freedom of speech. And they booted him from everything over and over again. He's been banned from Twitter a couple times. Instagram took him down a couple times. He's on Parler now, I believe, too. But probably Philip Anderson. But man, all these things are coming about. If you think about what the media is doing right now, squashing the Hunter Biden tapes, the election fraud, the election fraud in quotes, because they claim there is none, but we're finding it more and more as the days go on. It's the Dominion software. I just found out today that Dominion software, they're claiming the software is proprietary information, so we can't show you that because that would reveal our secrets as our company. What? So you're saying our votes go through your software and we're not even allowed to look at it and check about this, what the software is doing with our votes when we think there's fraudulent stuff going on? Now you're telling us we're not even allowed to check it? What is that? That is ridiculous. Now they're in Georgia. There was a judge that had to order them to stop deleting the software because now they're purging the systems of the software. They're like, oh, there was a crash. We have to wipe all of these systems and redo the software. How many red flags do we need? Now they're sweeping up their mess. They're making it seem, it's like they're bleaching, the entire crime scene. Just spraying bleach all over the place. No, there's no crimes here. And you look around and like everything's brand new. Everything's spick and span now. It's just like, come on. Gosh. Now, Lynn Wood, he's a little cuckoo, honestly. He's a little far out there. He's now calling for Trump to do a new election, call martial law. I think that's a little out there, to be honest. But my goodness, it's crazy because I don't know if our votes even counted. Do you trust that your vote counted? If you live in a county where they use Dominion software and we're not even allowed to look at the Dominion software. I saw a video today of someone in the counting area take a USB from the Dominion software, put it into a laptop, do some stuff, take it out, put it back in the Dominion software, and continue on. What is going on? There's way too much red flags. I don't trust the vote anymore. I think all of the vote needs to be redone. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. I'm we're in this weird limbo world. There's this half of the people are like, yay, yeah, Biden, woo. The other half are like, no, I'm sorry, no, we don't believe you. All right. And then now they're just feuding like, wow, cope more. It's like, cope. Do you want to, preserve our country? Because if you don't, go ahead, blindly believe that there's no election fraud because you're blind if you believe that. I'm sorry. You're blind. I'm not sorry. You're blind. Okay. Listen. You got to be blind to not see how much of this stuff, or you're completely not paying attention and you got your head in the sand, all right, because you don't want to see the fraud, okay, or the glitches in quotes, because they're not glitches. Glitches would be random, all right. Some of them would be for Trump. All of them are 100% to Biden from Trump. Like, well, nope, this glitch. Thousands of votes went over to Biden. Well, it was a glitch. Sorry, the Republican incumbent actually won. Or in here, the Republicans are doing amazing this year, this election. They're kicking butt because there are all these magical votes with zero down ballot filled in just for Biden. Perfectly pristine, not even folded, which they have to be folded to be able to be mailed in. Too many red flags. Way too many red flags. So I think the media is coming down. This whole thing, it's the media, it's the establishment, it's this. I don't even know. Whatever. Actually, James O'Keefe summed it up well. As like Democrats, the people in charge, like whoever it is, the people who orchestrated all of this. That's who I'm talking about, and they're in the media too. They're all one big huge group. Well, the media honestly is just like the flapping mouthpiece. And they just tell the media what to say. Like, yo, media, spread this news that we want everyone to believe around. Thank you. And they'll believe it because they're stupid. All right, look. We're not stupid, all right? I've got eyes. My eyes see. I see this BS, All right, and I want this election to be legit. I want to trust that Biden, if he won, now I don't believe that he won, but if he did, I want to know that it's legit. How did he win a record low amount of counties? He won like 500. Obama won 800 and something. And he got more votes than Obama. How? How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense at all. No. There's too much BS. Yeah, so I'm not having it.